Alright, here's a creepy one. NSA mass surveillance. Imagine this. One day, you find out the government has been spying on everyone. Yep, all your calls, texts, emails, they're watching it all. It's like Big Brother from 1984, but real. Edward Snowden, a former NSA contractor, blew the whistle on this. He was like, "Hey everyone, guess what? The government is reading your diary." People were shocked. It's like finding out your nosy neighbor has been eavesdropping on all your conversations. The NSA said it was to catch terrorists, but they ended up spying on millions of regular people. Imagine your most boring text, like, "What's for dinner?" being stored in some secret database. Creepy, right? Snowden had to flee the country because of this. The whole thing made everyone paranoid about their privacy. Suddenly, you're wondering, is someone watching me right now? It's a real-life spy thriller, but way scarier because it's true. Big Tobacco's Big Lie. Alright, here's a real jaw-dropper. Big Tobacco's big lie. Imagine this. For decades, cigarette companies knew smoking caused cancer, but they kept it a secret. They even paid doctors to say, "Hey, smoking is good for you." Can you believe that? It's like if Voldemort ran a cigarette company telling everyone, "Don't worry, these are totally safe." Meanwhile, people were getting seriously sick. The companies made billions while everyone else paid with their health. Picture ads with doctors in lab coats saying, "Smoke this brand. It's the best." It's so absurd, it's almost funny, except it's real and super evil. When the truth finally came out, it was a huge scandal. Lawsuits everywhere, and the tobacco companies had to pay billions, but the damage was already done. It's one of the biggest betrayals in history, all for profit. So the next time someone says, "Trust me, I'm a doctor," maybe double check who's paying them first. Crazy, right? But sadly, totally true. The Gulf of Tonkin Incident. Alright, here's a head-scratcher. The Gulf of Tonkin Incident. Picture this. In 1964, the U.S. government claimed North Vietnam attacked their ships. But guess what? They might have totally made it up or exaggerated it. Talk about fishy. The story goes that U.S. ships were just hanging out, minding their own business when bam, they were attacked. Except maybe they weren't. It's like a kid saying the dog ate my homework, but there's no dog. This so-called attack led the U.S. to dive headfirst into the Vietnam War. Imagine the government saying, "Let's go to war because reasons." When the truth started to leak out, people were like, "Wait, what? We went to war over that?" It's a classic case of making a mountain out of a molehill with thousands of lives at stake. When the real story came out, it was a major scandal. The Gulf of Tonkin incident shows how a tiny lie can lead to a huge mess. Crazy, right? But totally true. The Manhattan Project. Alright, imagine this, the Manhattan Project. During World War II, the U.S. decided to secretly build the most powerful bomb ever. They called it the atomic bomb. It's like a bunch of science nerds got together and said, "Let's make something that goes boom." They hid away in the desert, working day and night. It's like a secret clubhouse, but instead of building tree houses, they're building doomsday devices. And guess what? They actually did it. They created a bomb that could end the war and change the world forever. When they dropped it on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the explosion was so massive, it was like a scene from a sci-fi movie. But this was real. It ended the war, but also started the nuclear age. Suddenly everyone's like, "Whoa, we've got this crazy new power. Now what?" The Manhattan Project was top secret, super dangerous, and totally changed history. It's proof that sometimes the wildest science projects aren't just in comic books. They're real, and they can change everything. COINTELPRO. Alright, here's a crazy one. Picture the FBI acting like the bad guys in a spy movie. In the 1950s and 60s, they started COINTELPRO, a secret program to spy on and mess with civil rights leaders. They were like, "Hey, let's be sneaky and ruin some lives." They targeted everyone from Martin Luther King Jr. to the Black Panthers. Imagine getting fake letters and nasty rumors spread about you by the government. It's like high school drama, but with the FBI. These agents did everything from wiretapping phones to planting fake news stories. They were so paranoid about anyone trying to change the system. It's like they watched too many spy thrillers and thought, we can do that, but for real. Eventually, the program got exposed and people were outraged. The FBI acting like cartoon villains. Yep, it really happened. It's a reminder that sometimes the real conspiracies are wilder than the movies. The Iran-Contra affair. Alright, get ready for a wild ride. The Iran-Contra affair. Picture this, the US government secretly selling weapons to Iran. Yes, Iran. And they used the money to fund rebels in Nicaragua. It's like they thought, let's break all the rules at once. They kept it hush-hush, but of course, the truth always comes out. When people found out, it was like discovering your grandma is a secret spy. Imagine the chaos. It was one giant mess of lies, secrets, and illegal deals. President Reagan's administration got caught with their hands in the cookie jar. It's like a bad action movie where everyone's double-crossing each other. The hearings were a circus with everyone pointing fingers. It was embarrassing, hilarious, and downright shocking all at once. In the end, it was a huge scandal that taught everyone what not to do. Seriously, if you're running a country, maybe don't sell weapons to your enemies and lie about it. Just a thought.